pronounce half these words.
Yes, you
Really?
do. Yes,
You're
you do.
smart.
He's gonna come to you. Uncle Adam.
All right, kids. Are you ready for the new Mensa version of 'Twas the Night Before Christmas?
Mensa version.
Right.
'Twas the nocturnal segment of the diurnal period preceding the annual Yuletide celebration, and throughout our place of residence, kinetic activity was not in evidence among the possessors of this potential, including that species of domestic rodent known as mus musculus. Hosiery was meticulously suspended from the forward edge of the wood-burning caloric apparatus, pursuant to our anticipatory pleasure regarding an imminent visitation from an eccentric philanthropist among whose folklore appellations is the honorific title of St. Nicholas. The prepubescent siblings, comfortably ensconced in their respective accommodations of repose, were experiencing subconscious visual hallucinations of variegated fruit confections moving rhythmically through their cerebra. My conjugal partner and I, attired in our nocturnal cranial coverings, were about to take slumberous advantage of the hibernial darkness, when upon the adventitious exterior portion of the grounds there ascended such a cacophony of dissonance that I felt compelled to arise with elasticity from my place of repose for the purpose of ascertaining the precise source thereof. Hastening to the casement, I forthwith opened the barriers sealing the fenestration, noting thereupon that the lunar brilliance without, reflected as it was upon the surface of a recent crystalline aqueous precipitation, might be said to rival that of the solar meridian itself, thus permitting my incredulous optical sensor to peruse a miniature airborne round conveyance drawn by an octet of diminutive specimens of the genus Ranfangia, piloted by a minuscule aged chauffeur so ebullient and nimble that it became instantly apparent to me that he was indeed our anticipated caller. With his undulate motive power traveling at what may possibly have been more vertiginous velocity than patriotic altar predators, he vociferated loudly, expelled breath musically through contracted labia, and addressed each of the octet by his or her respective cognomen. Now Dasher, now Dancer, et al.
At all.
All of them. And all of them. It's Latin for...
Guiding them to the uppermost exterior level of our abode, through which structure I could readily distinguish the constastinations of each of the 32 cloven petal extremities. As I retracted my cranium from its erstwhile location and was performing a 180-degree pivot, our distinguished visitant achieved, with utmost celerity and via a downward leap, entry by way of the smoke passage. He was clad entirely in animal pelts, by the ebon residue from the oxidizations of carboniferous fuels which had accumulated on the walls thereof. His resemblance to a street vendor I attributed largely to the plethora of assorted playthings, which he bore dorsally in a commodious cloth receptacle. Excuse me for a second.
I just want you to know that this is the sexiest display of large words I have seen.
And I'm mispronouncing half of them.
I don't even care. Keep rolling.
His orbs were scintillant with reflected luminosity, while his submaxillary dermal indentations gave every evidence of engaging amiability. The capillaries of his molar regions and nasal appetence were engorged with blood which suffused the subcutaneous layers, the former approximating the coloration of Albion's floroalbum, the latter that of the Prunus avium, or sweet cherry. His amusing sub and sublabials resembled nothing so much as a common lute knot, and their ambient hirsute facial adornment appeared like small tabular and columnar crystals of frozen water. Clenched firmly between his incisors was a smoking piece whose gray fumes, forming a tenuous ellipse about his occiput, were suggestive of a decorative seasonal circlet of holly. His visage was wider than it was high, and when he waxed audibly mirthful, his corpulent abdominal region undulated in the manner of an impectinate fruit syrup in an hemispherical container. Without utterance and with dispatch, he commenced filling the aforementioned hosiery with articles of merchandise extracted from his aforementioned previously dorsally transported cloth receptacle. Upon completion of this task, he executed an abrupt about-face, placed a single manual digit in a lateral juxtaposition to his olfactory region, inclined his cranium forward in a gesture of leave-taking, and forthwith effected his egress by renegotiating, in reverse, the smoke passage. He then propelled himself in a short vector onto his conveyance, directed a musical expulsion of air through his contracted oral sphincter to the antler quadrupeds of burden, and proceeded to soar aloft in a movement hereto, though observable chiefly among the seed-bearing portions of a common weed, but overheard his parting exclamation, audible immediately prior to his vehiculation beyond the limits of visibility: "Ecstatic Yuletides to the planetary constituents, and to that self-same assemblance, my sincerest wishes for a salubriously beneficial and gratifyingly pleasurable period between sunset and dawn."
Thank you.
Very nice.
In layman's
Score.
terms, we'll type that shit out for y'all.
Score!
I'm impressed.
I wasn't typing that shit. That's why I made him read it so we could record it. I was not typing that shit. You know?
I'm impressed.
It was the night
I could have
before
read that shit out
Christmas.
loud. We were just talking about how
I mispronounced a lot of words.
You
No one cares,
did really
baby.
I